What's up YouTube? It's Ben, and in this video, I'm answering all your recruiting questions. All right guys, so I scrolled through a bunch of comments on all my YouTube videos, and there's a ton of random questions. So I figured I'd make a video answering all those random questions for you. Well, not all of them, but a bunch of them, right? So I'm gonna go through those. You're gonna join Recruiter Empire, our Facebook group, link in description, where there's 12,000 recruiters waiting to interact and network with you. Definitely join the Facebook group. Again, link in description, and let's get right into the questions. All right, so question number one that I found, how does recruiting work? So this is super simple, right? We have clients and then we have candidates, right? These clients or companies need workers. And when they need workers, they need recruiters to go find those candidates or workers to actually work for them. So that's where recruiters come in. Recruiters actually make money by finding clients, candidates that they can interview and then hire. And we're basically the middlemen between, right? So consider yourself a real estate agent for people and companies. All right, so the next question is, how much should you charge your client? All right, the answer to this one is super simple. It's really based upon the niche and the actual role. So if you're in technology, or if you're in medicine or science or something high level tier 3, I would charge a 20 to 25% fee. If I were somewhere near the tier 1 roles, like let's say somebody that's working low level construction, manual labor, maybe even like a temp type of job, that's where you charge a much lower fee, anywhere between 10 and 15%, just because that's what the market calls for. So higher tier markets call for higher fees, lower markets call for lower fees. All right, question number 3, what should your niche be? The answer to this question is really straightforward. Your niche should be basically everything, okay? Especially when you are first starting out as a recruiter and starting your recruiting agency, you should test out a wide variety of different spaces. I'm talking anywhere from IT down to warehouse, logistics, sales, admin. I'm talking about literally anything that pays, right? So spread it wide, check it out, figure out what works for you and what pays. Then narrow it down into a few things that you really perform well in and keep going in that specific niche. But no, you should not choose one niche and just go with that for the rest of your entire career. That is gonna keep you back, and that's gonna make you actually less money. Nobody wants to do that. All right, so here's another question I see all the time. Clients or candidates first? Who do you go after? The answer is clients. Hands down, no debate, always clients. So here's the deal. If you think that you can go out and find a bunch of candidates and then go place them at random clients, I don't know what you're thinking, because that's not going to work. You need to find clients that will actually give you job descriptions, tell you what they want as far as candidates, then you go recruit the candidates. So clients always come first. So people say, oh, well, I have a ton of candidates, I just don't know where to place them. Well, it's no figure why you have nowhere to place them, because you have no clients. You need clients first. So the answer is always go after clients first, then find your candidates for those clients. All right, next question is, what do you need to start a recruiting agency? Well, basically a laptop, a few items of software, and some training. You need to understand how to actually reach out to clients, get clients, sign contracts, negotiate, and then how to actually recruit, how to actually find candidates, and how to get them in the door and get hired, and then actually how to get paid. So you need to understand all of those things. So you do need to go through some training, find a system, and understand exactly how that works. So those are the things that you need to get started in recruiting. It's not that difficult, but there are many nuances and a lot of different things that you do need to know how to do once you get into it at scale. All right, so here's another question. Is recruiting or staffing oversaturated or too competitive right now? I love this question because the answer is super awesome. Here, check it out, all right? It's the same thing as asking if the restaurant business is oversaturated or too competitive. there's restaurants everywhere, right? So that strictly means there's huge demand for people that want to go eat at different places, right? So whenever there's demand, what do you want to do? You want to meet the demand. Just like in recruiting or staffing, if you think in your mind that, oh, that market is oversaturated or it's too competitive, run right into that fire. You need to run where the demand actually exists, because that means there is a lot of business and a lot of money to be made there. So never think in terms of competition, just think in terms of being the best at what you do and staying in your lane and making a ton of money while doing it. All right, another question is, how do you find your first client? Okay, there are two methodologies that you're gonna find your first client with. Those are gonna be cold email outreach or LinkedIn automation, one of the two. You're gonna be reaching out a ton to different clients via email, via phone, whatever you choose to do. I'm a huge component of cold email, but cold email outreach and LinkedIn automation, using a tool on LinkedIn that you can use to basically just send messages to prospects, prospective clients, and eventually they start responding to you and say, yes, we need XYZ, right? And you start a dialogue with them, and then you sign a contract, and then you place people for them, and you eventually get your actual first client. So that's how it'll happen, cold email or LinkedIn automation. All right, so next question is, how much do recruiters make? So recruiters can literally make anywhere from $100,000 a year to $100,000 a month or more. It depends. It really depends on you. How much input do you want to actually do? How much effort do you want to put out? How much energy do you want to put in to scaling your business? Are you comfortable with $10,000 a month, or are you more comfortable with $250,000 a month? It really depends on you. If you want to scale higher and higher and higher, it's just going to create more of a need for effort, energy, determination, focus, and generally a team to scale out to those higher levels. All right, the next question is, what's the difference between recruiting and staffing? All right, I'll try to keep this simple. Recruiting is where you directly place a candidate with a direct client, you collect money, and you're completely finished. Staffing is where you actually hire the candidate, then you farm them out or loan them out to your client, and you collect a margin on the bill rate to your client. So let's say you send a candidate over that you hired that works for you to your client, and you charge them $20 an hour, but you're actually taking $10 an hour. So effectively you pay your worker $10 an hour, but you bill your client $20 an hour, and you take $10 an hour, and you make a margin, and you do that on a volume scale. That is staffing. All right, so next question is also a really, really good one. How long does it take to get your first client? So in general, after working with about 1,000 plus students, I can say that on average, it takes about 4 weeks or a month or so to get your first paying client. It can definitely happen earlier than that or a little bit after that, but on average, it's about 4 weeks. This also totally depends on you and how much effort you put into your outreach and many, many other variables. All right, so this question is always a good one. Is recruiting sales? And the answer is no. Recruiting is not sales. I can understand how many people would view recruiting as sales, but it is not. And there's arguments to be made on both sides, but at the end of the day, I will tell you that recruiting is simply a value-added service built upon a relationship between you and your clientele. That's it. All right, so the last question is, have you joined our Facebook group, Recruiter Empire? Link in description of this video, where you'll find tons of answers to way more questions, and you'll be able to ask as many questions as you want in the Facebook group itself. I hope this video is valuable for you guys. If so, please smash that like button, hit subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you guys next time.